In a world where relationships are often judged by how easy they are, where love is measured by how comfortable, convenient, or compatible two people seem to be, let's take a moment to pause. Because this video, yes, this one, is not just another reminder. It's a message for you. A message about love that goes deeper than feelings, deeper than comfort, deeper than the surface. The story of Karbala isn't just about history. It's about real love. Love that survives pain. Love that doesn't run away when it gets hard. Love that stands tall, even when the world is falling apart. Karbala reminds us that true love isn't just smiles and soft words. It's loyalty that doesn't fade when the days turn dark. It's sacrifice that doesn't wait for applause or rewards. It's about standing firm when your heart is being tested the most. Today, we're going to talk about something that matters deeply. What does Karbala teach you and me about love in marriage? What can we learn about how two people, joined in faith, can hold each other up, not just in comfort, but in crisis? Because Karbala was more than just a battlefield. It was a place where the purest love was proven, not by words, not by gifts, but by sacrifice. Imam Hussain, R.A., didn't just stand up for justice on his own. He stood up for love. Love for his family, love for his loyal companions, love for the Ummah, including you and me. His strength wasn't only emotional, it was spiritual. It was deep-rooted in trust in Allah, in love for truth, and in loyalty to those who stood beside him, and those who stood with him. They knew what was coming. They saw death ahead, but they didn't walk away. They didn't choose safety. Why? Because real love is not about staying only when it's easy. It's about choosing someone again and again, even when it hurts, even when it's scary, even when it feels like everything is breaking apart. Karbala teaches us that love is commitment. It's truth in action. It's loyalty in pain. It's selflessness in the face of fear. And just like Karbala tested hearts and faith, marriage is a test too. A test of patience. A test of how much we're willing to give without always receiving. A test of whether we choose ego or choose love. A successful marriage isn't built on just good days and shared laughs. It's built when two people decide to stay, to grow, to fight, not with each other, but for each other. When forgiveness becomes more important than pride. When prayer becomes a way to connect instead of arguing. When sacrifice becomes the language of love. That's when a marriage becomes beautiful. And yes, the world today might tell us, if it's hard, leave. If you're not happy, walk away. But Islam teaches us something far greater than what the world tells us. It teaches us to stand firm, to hold on to each other, not just in joy, but when everything around us is shaking. Because love that disappears when the winds blow was never love at all. Real love is when two people hold hands, even when the storm rages. Just like the companions of Imam Hussain, R.A., may Allah be pleased with them, didn't walk away when it got dark. They stayed. They loved through fear. They protected through pain. They chose faith over fear. They stood when others ran. That's not just loyalty. That's pure, unshakable love. And so, to you, yes, you watching this right now, this video isn't just a story. It's a gift of perspective, a gift of a kind of love this world is slowly forgetting, a love that doesn't quit, a love that doesn't give up when it gets heavy. Let Karbala teach us not only how to love, but how to stay in love, how to love with courage when fear is loud, how to love with patience when silence echoes, and how to love in a way that brings us closer, not just to each other, but to the one who created love itself, Allah. Because when a husband and wife are united by faith, they carry something rare, something powerful. Their love becomes more than emotion, it becomes a mission. And like every mission worth living for, it will demand things from you. It will ask for your patience, your silence at times, your endurance, and yes, even your heartbreak. But all of it, every bit of it, is not for nothing. It's for a higher purpose, a bigger love, the love of Allah. Because love without patience, it fades quickly. But love with patience, it becomes something eternal. Even in silence, it grows. Even in distance, it remains. Even in pain, it blooms. The people of Karbala didn't give their lives for a few days of happiness. They stood with sabr, patience, knowing their pain held eternal value. And just like that, in marriage, you will face tests too. There will be days you feel unheard, days you feel unseen, days you wonder, does this effort even matter? But here's the truth. Allah sees it all. Every tear you held back to protect peace, every harsh word you swallowed for the sake of love, every quiet prayer you whispered when your heart felt shattered. None of it is wasted. None of it goes unnoticed. Allah records everything. He reminds us in the Quran, "Do you think you will enter paradise without such trials as came to those who passed before you?" Surah Al-Baqarah 2214. Love is not proven by how easily you smile on the good days. It's proven by what you choose to do on the hard days. You don't prove love by leaving when it gets heavy. You prove it by staying, by trying, by telling your soul, "Stay, be patient." This is worship. That's the kind of love Karbala teaches us, not the temporary kind that disappears when things get tough, not the easy kind that only exists in comfort, but the kind that is eternal, unshakable, purposeful, a love built on sabr, patience, tested again and again, yet still standing. But today, let's be honest, love has been redefined by the world. It's become about how someone makes me feel, about convenience, about comfort. We're told things like, if they make me happy, I'll stay. If they stop meeting my expectations, I'll leave. But Islam brings us back to truth, to love that doesn't depend on mood swings or picture-perfect days, to love that's a choice made every single day, with faith, with patience, with intention. Because Karbala wasn't about ease. It wasn't about temporary happiness. It was about choosing truth over comfort, choosing commitment over convenience, choosing Allah over everything else. And isn't that what marriage truly is? So many marriages today don't break because of huge betrayals. They fall apart because we've forgotten. We've forgotten that love needs patience, that it needs forgiveness, that sometimes it demands sacrifice without applause, giving even when nothing comes back. If we truly loved for the sake of Allah, we'd remember something powerful. Marriage isn't just an emotional agreement. It's not a checklist of romantic moments. It's an act of ibadah, worship. When you marry someone, you're not just marrying their smile. You're marrying their struggles too. You're carrying their wounds. You're becoming part of their healing. And that is real love. Not the kind that disappears in hard times, but the kind that grows because of them. Karbala wasn't just a tragedy in history. It was a message that real love takes courage, that loyalty isn't something we prove in moments of ease, but in the fire of difficulty, in the silence of misunderstanding, in the weight of unspoken pain. It's proven in those sacred moments when walking away seems easier, but you choose to stay, not because it's simple, but because it's right. Imam Hussain, R.A., and his noble companions didn't stay because it was comfortable. They stayed because they believed in something greater than themselves. They stood with dignity, with devotion, with a kind of love that was rooted in purpose, not just emotion. A love for truth, a love for family, a love for Allah. And you, yes, you watching this right now, you too can build a marriage that stands the test of time, not because you or your spouse are perfect, but because you both choose to be faithful when it's hard, forgiving when it's unfair, patient when it's painful. Real love in marriage isn't about finding someone who never hurts you. It's about choosing someone again and again, even after they do. That's not weakness, that's strength. That's the kind of love that earns Allah's pleasure. That's the kind of love Karbala teaches us to live. So the next time things get hard, when your heart feels heavy, when the easy option is to give up and walk away, pause, breathe, and remember this: real love in Islam is not about never having problems. It's about facing problems with faith together. And that is the kind of love worth holding on to. That is the kind of love worth fighting for. That is the kind of love that turns marriage into worship. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us what part hit home for you. Subscribe for more reminders that heal the soul and strengthen your faith. And if you know someone who's struggling in their marriage or relationships, send them this video. Let them know they're not alone. Let them know Allah sees every effort. Because sometimes all it takes is one reminder to bring hearts back together. This was made for you, and we pray it becomes a source of light in your darkest moments. May Allah bless your love, your patience, and your journey. Always. Kal Munnortum.